welcome to the show. Thanks for tuning in. Great to be with you. Hope you're having a good day, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show, and whatever you may be doing. Thank you. Trying to get my head back on. I want to I'm thanking everybody that turned out for that 20-year anniversary. One of the local chain stores here in the Tampa Bay area, Vitamin Discount Center, celebrated its 20-year anniversary. And I attended that, went by, spent 4 hours there, and met a lot of nice people and talked with them. It's just amazing how people are so dialed into, the ones that are, dialed into their health and their concern and the questions that they ask and the things that they do and the challenges that face them. And I spent most of my time, I don't know how many people I talked to, but, it's just, it never ceases to amaze me. And it always reminds me of how important this show is for people in terms of not only just getting information, but insight and inspiration. And you realize the responsibility of what you're doing. Admittedly, 13 years ago when I started, I didn't really understand that. It wasn't until I started to do personal appearances and do broadcasts out of studio in health stores in the Tampa Bay area, where people would come and introduce themselves, and we would talk, and what they would share, and then that's how I came to understand that the audience, people listen to radio for many reasons, generally, and they listen to health talk show for many reasons as well. Some of it's for entertainment purposes, some just to have ambient noise in the room, others to seek information, help. Yeah, it's and to have a relationship with somebody that they can trust, and I take that very seriously. To tell the truth as you know it. I don't know what the truth with a capital T is. I don't know what that truth is. I leave that to a higher order. But I'll tell you the truth as I know it to be at that moment. And if that would change, something comes up that would change my understanding of what the truth is, I will share that. Mm-hmm. And currently we're working on metrics for the show and trying to figure out certain statistics relative to this show. And Gary will tell you that I'm probably to his annoyance and others, but I don't care, particular about what we're saying and how we're saying it. I don't want to misrepresent this show. I don't want to misrepresent the statistics that surround it. I'm very careful and conscious about that. And I always tell Gary, we must tell the truth, whatever that truth is. A lot of these health talk shows, I go to their websites and this and that, and they make all kinds of claims about how many people are listening. And most of the time it's a lie. Let me be candid. They're lying because they don't know. They really don't know. Television ratings are different. The way they can measure viewership in television is very sophisticated and far more evolved than what's going on in radio. And that's the truth. Unless you have what they call PPMs, personal people meters in all these different markets, and you got them you have a good sample of them in a particular market, you're not going to have any idea. You're guessing. And people make numbers up. I refuse to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not. And that's not only for those statistics, but for anything else that we talk about on this show. And you have to speak truth to power, but you have to speak the truth. And without that, what I came to realize, like on Saturday, a couple came up to me. I don't have permission to use their names. And I remember this conversation with this gentleman. He called in, and he brought his wife with them. They're from Lithuania. And they were just wonderful people. And the sincerity and the, how can I put it? The sense of connectedness that I saw in these people to the show and to me, I mean, it blew me away. You think, oh, you just go on the air and Stephen keys the mic and he runs the board and Gary does the stream, and that's what we do. And then we say things on the air. There's much more going on here than that. Joe and his wife from St. Petersburg, who calls in the show regularly, he's so committed. He came by with his wife and others. And you see how people get connected. And this is serious. In that sense, that's the most important thing about this show is the relationship that you have with the audience. And if you violate that relationship by not speaking the truth or misrepresenting or misleading or saying things that may serve you but don't serve the audience, that's bad. No, man, you just can't. That's all you got is your good. What's that saying? When you die, all you leave and take with you is your good name. And what I've learned in this business, and I've only been in it for 13 years. There are people around in this building that have been in it for 30 plus years and more years. I'm a beginner compared to some of the folks in this building. Your brand, your name is everything. Notwithstanding anything else, it's everything. And I saw that on Saturday. People come up to you with the greatest of appreciation. I mean, it's just amazing. I'm always just blown away every single time. So that's what this show means. What I'm sharing with you is what this show means. And after 13 years, I'm still learning every single day. Learning about you, learning about health, wellness, and well-being. One of the most disappointing things about when I got sick was I had to stop my coursework and was not able to continue my courses. And I told Gary the other day, I said, I miss it terribly. I'm trying to get back. And I'm constant, listen, I got more degrees than I got sense, but there's nothing more exciting than learning. And it seems to me that in order to do a show like this, you have to keep doing that. Otherwise, your shelf life is very, very short. So and people say, why do you go to the gym? Why do you work out? Why do you take care? Because I have a responsibility to walk the talk. I can't be coming on here and saying do this and that, and this is good, that's bad, and I violate these things myself. That would be hypocritical. I can't do that. I got to go to sleep at night. And all of my imperfection, by God, I'm not going to do that. You are listening to Let's Talk Nutrition, seeking the truth and speaking truth to power.
I'm Joy McCarthy, holistic Energy, energy, and more energy. Everyone needs it. But did you know you can get the energy you need quick through the powers of wild forest extracts? Wild chaga and birch bark were a secret source of energy and power for Russian athletes years ago, making them unbeatable. Now you too can experience real energy and power like you never dreamed possible. Wild chaga is the world's top source of SOD, superoxide dismutase, that critical enzyme that blocks the aging process and keeps your cells healthy. Wild birch extract is the world's top source of betulin, a natural sterol needed by every cell of the body. And healthy cells mean a healthy you, and a more powerful one too. Chaga birch bark is also good for your heart, healthy cholesterol, and even helps build healthy arteries. No wonder it's known as the king of all herbs. So take your Chaga Charged Tea with wild birch bark every day and Chaga Max capsules from North American Herb and Spice and get that maximum energy you need. Also available in liquid as Chaga Power Drops. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The family-owned company since 1968 and now has spent the last 50 years becoming a trusted leader in the natural products industry. Now offers more than 1,400 high-quality supplements, sports nutrition, personal care products, essential oils, and non-GMO foods, all at an affordable price. Now believes that natural is better. They don't use artificial colors, flavors, or sweeteners, and they offer many vegetarian, certified organic, and gluten-free products. In the last 50 years of doing business, one thing has never changed. Now's mission to provide value in products and services that empower people to lead healthier lives. High quality doesn't have to mean high price. From essential oils to amino acids, multivitamins to natural sweeteners, Now has you covered. To find a store near you that carries Now products, or for more information on their 50th anniversary celebration, visit nowfoods.com. Live happy. Live healthy.
This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition.
This is Dr. Michael Garko, host of the nationally syndicated health talk show, Let's Talk Nutrition. Way too often, dietary supplements cost way too much. Not so at Vitamin Discount Center. Here's why. BDC sells leading national brands up to 50% off MSRP every day. Competitors' prices are matched for identical products with proof of price. If you're in the military or are a first responder, you get an additional 10% off BDC's already discounted prices. BDC even offers case discounts. And you can get connected with BDC's VIP mobile text program for additional savings and customer rewards throughout the month. The choice is clear. You can save at Vitamin Discount Center. For a store nearest you, visit vitamindiscountcenter.com or call 813-907-7066. That's 813-907-7066. Vitamin Discount Center. For life, for less.
This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching.
Want to get at the core issues that make weight loss so difficult? Try PGX from Natural Factors. This revolutionary product is clinically shown to help people achieve their ideal body weight in a safe, natural way.
This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition.
Dramatically reduces the glycemic index of any food or meal and ultimately causes the release of the compounds that achieve two important goals in weight loss. 1, telling your brain that you're satisfied so you eat less, and 2, improving the action of the hormone insulin. As medical doctor Mark Hyman said in his best-selling book, Eat Fat, Get Thin, if you choose to use only one supplement, PGX is the most important. If you've ever tried to lose weight and failed, you need the tremendous support of PGX from Natural Factors. For more information on making your weight loss dream a near effortless reality, visit pgx.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Natural Factors, where great health begins. Kyolic, aging makes the finest garlic truly odorless. Celsius, live fit. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Shortly. I noticed that barbershops are making a comeback. In fact, in some of the salons, haircutting salons, they now have a barber in there in addition to the beautician or haircutter, whatever the cosmetologist, whatever the name they're using. But they'll have a barber in the shop, where I get my hair cut. they have a barber. And I don't know, probably many of you, your first haircut, at least for the men too, for the men primarily, you went to the barber shop to get your hair cut. Now you go to the salon. But I remember my first haircut. It was not a pleasant experience. And I remember crying and screaming and didn't know what was going on. I had this long hair. My mom let it grow as long as she could, and I remember them putting the booster on the chair and having to sit up, and they put the sheet over you. What are they doing, I wondered, probably. And carried on like nobody, scared to death. These men in this barber shop and all the aromas and all that cheap stuff. If you can imagine, right? I'm sure some of you had that experience. Well, as time went on, I came to like to go to the barber. And there have been movies about the movie Barber Shop, right,
yes.
Gary? There have been a couple. Hasn't that been like a sort of like there's sequel to it and this and that?
Yeah, my favorite scene from any barbershop was Coming to America with the guys downstairs in Harlem. That's
okay.
The best.
So, and what did you notice even in that movie? What went on in the barber shop? What were those men doing all the time?
Talking. They were talking about current events.
Talking, exactly. Well, I bring this up because there's a story trending this morning on the New York Times, what barbershops can teach about delivering health care. Well, how clever and how unique. And they were talking about, in this case, high blood pressure. High blood pressure is a killer. It's a silent killer. And a lot of people have high blood pressure, don't even know it, and it's going untreated. A lot of people have it, know it, been to the doctor, have the medications, and don't take the meds, and don't follow the doctor's advice. And don't, whatever that might be, losing weight, this and that. Heart disease is the most common killer in men in the United States and women, by the way, and high blood pressure is one of the greatest potential risk factors for heart disease. We've known this for decades. We're not looking for the Holy Grail here. We don't have to send out King Arthur and the knights to go find the end. We know what it is. This is not a mystery. But a recent study shows that the means of communication, there's my friend communication, is as important as the message itself. And we always typically think of the doctor's office. Well, maybe, and the physician. Maybe it's the barber shop and the barber that can communicate this message. Years ago, they reported in the New York Times, researchers ran an experiment which they trained barbers to check blood pressure, and then they said in the article, refer people with high levels to physicians. That's pretty clever. They trust the barber. They may not trust anybody else. One group got that sort of intervention, then as a real experiment. A control group didn't receive the treatment. They just got a pamphlet that was handed out. Well, turned out it's a pretty good idea to do that. A more recent study took it a little further, removing physicians entirely from this medical process. The control group consisted of barbers who encouraged lifestyle modification, they said in the article, or referred customers with high blood pressure to physicians. In the intervention group, the one that got the treatment, the barbers screened patients, then handed them off to pharmacists who met with customers in the barber shops. They treated patients with medications and lifestyle changes according to set protocols, then updated physicians on what they had done. Now, I don't know if this is practicing medicine without a license. I don't know about that. I'm just looking at it as an experiment. After 6 months, systolic blood pressure in the control group dropped 9 millimeters per mercury to 145.4, which is still high. In the intervention group, the blood pressure dropped to 27 millimeters per mercury to 125.8, which is darn near almost normal. I'll be darned. Let's go to Westchester, Pennsylvania. Hank, welcome to the show. It's great to have you on.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
You go to the barber?
Yeah, you can bet your beard on it.
Do you get to shave it? I always, as a boy, I was so intrigued with the barbers with that razor, and they would shave the man, then they would put the towel on his face, he'd lay back, have this hot. I was intrigued by all that. You just go for a haircut or a shave or both?
Both. And I tell you why I go for both. Well, growing up, I was probably started shaving when I was around 7.5 years old.
Yes.
So that leads me to say that I'm one of the guys that has the 5 o'clock shadow by lunchtime.
I understand.
So with that in mind, I've decided, for 38 years now, I'm going to grow a beard. Because I'm just tired of shaving twice or thrice, more than once a day.
I know.
Let's say if I have a date tonight, hypothetically, as a young man. Of course I'm going to get squared away, but I just don't want to have to shave again.
Right.
I'm just tired of it, so I grew a beard. Now, I kept it nice and trim and neat.
Sure.
And through a barber, I learned how to use a straight razor.
Hold your thought and come back. Barbershops, they're back in vogue. I think that's a good idea.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce exclusively on Amazon.com.
This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. Chester, Pennsylvania, holding on. Dominique from Ostrander from Jarrow Formulas holding on. Reporting on a story about barbershops and blood pressure. I'm not making this up. This is intriguing. They did an experiment, and they had the barbers involved the way I described. I won't get into it again. Long story short, in the intervention involving the barber and the barbershop and a pharmacist, they were able to lower the blood pressure of the participants in the study. There was a 95% retaining rate for that experiment, by the way, which is remarkable. They did great, almost brought the blood pressure back to normal compared to the control group that just got a pamphlet. And it's just astonishing to me. The barber trade is a long history. Just so you know, this is not a new idea. They have found relics of barber tools, razors, and the Bronze Age. Just to give you a hint or an idea, that's 3,500 years before Christ in Egypt. In an ancient Egyptian culture, the barbers were very respected. Then, going in Rome, barbering was introduced by the Greek colonies in Sicily in 296 BC. I told Gary it took them a while to catch on. And the barbershops became popular for daily news and gossip. Then in the Middle Ages, barbers served as surgeons and dentists. This is kind of intriguing. In addition to haircutting, hairdressing, shaving, they performed surgeries, bloodletting, not accidentally cutting somebody, leeching, fire cupping, enemas, and extraction of teeth. My goodness, they were called barber surgeons. Well, fast forward 21st century, now we have an experiment where the barbers are helping to low blood pressure. So, Hank, you go to the barber shop and you get your hair cut and you get your beard trimmed and whatnot. Did you ever think of going there to get your blood pressure lowered?
I can tell you my blood pressure lowers when I'm in company of other men who share the same interests as I do.
Gary said the same thing.
That's the same thing I said.
And you know, listen, I'm going to let me at least give an apology first. If I seem to be socially unacceptable, pardon. Not that I don't like women. There's sometimes it's nice to go out with the boys.
Well, yeah, sure. And sometimes the women like to go out with the girls.
Yeah.
But I prefer to go out with the girls.
Well, I mean, to be with the boys.
I know. Yeah, I know what you mean. No, you said you were saying that you couldn't get, what was it, a hypothetical date? What was that? I don't know how you put it.
Well, I was the kind of guy who used to have to shave, well, I still do have to shave by lunchtime.
I know.
At the 5 o'clock shadow before lunch.
Yeah.
So rather when I would go out on a date, I would have to, shave again in the evening. So I decided to grow a beard.
Yeah. Well, I never grew a beard. I don't know. Maybe when I get older. I don't know how much older does he have to get. But it's nice to hear you share your experience. Now where I go get my hair cut in the salon, there's a barber right in the chair next to me, and she's very good, a female barber. Usually male. Then women became barbers too, which I think is a good idea. And I very much enjoy. I always like talking to the barbers. They always have good stories to tell because people reveal the most personal of things to the barber, right, and to the hair cutter. But we enjoyed the artwork, by the way.
This is why it's more comfortable to hang around the guys and get a male perspective.
I understand. I got this guest hanging on here, Hank. I got to run, and she's gonna cut my head off instead of my hair if I don't get her on the air. I always enjoy talking to you.
Have a good day.
We appreciate you very much. Dominique Ostrander is my guest. I don't think she goes to the barber. I know her. She's pretty particular.
Not the barber, no.
That's what one of my doctors said to me one day. And he said, Dr. Garko, you're pretty particular. And I thought, well, that's a translation for you're a pain in the, a nice way to put it. You're pretty particular. I thought that was clever. I laughed. How are you doing?
High maintenance.
No, I'm not high maintenance. I'm just particular. Right, Gary?
He likes things a certain way, and that's how he likes them.
Yes, exactly. Then I am exactly like that.
When you come to the house, can you come? When you come to my house, Gary, can you tell I'm particular?
Yes, you can tell everything is, but it's organized. You know where everything is. You don't search for anything.
If you think I'm particular, you ought to pay a visit to Dominique Ostrander's house. That she's on a whole nother level, buddy. I look like I am crazed and unorganized compared to her. Why do you do that? You like to stay organized, huh?
Well, yeah, I would say it's more than organization. It's the cleanliness is next to godliness.
You take that to a whole new level.
So, yeah, exactly. Like the cleaner you are, the closer you are getting to heaven. So
I dare say you probably won't even go into a public bathroom, will you? Unless you have to.
Definitely, I will definitely because nature calls, but it's not something I enjoy at all.
I can just see you trying to navigate through that. And that's one of the most bacterial-ridden environments on the planet. You know that, right?
Oh, definitely, yeah. And each woman, actually, it's very interesting. Every woman approaches a public bathroom as though it's a crime scene.
That's pretty good. Put up crime scene tape.
Seriously, they open the door to the stall like they're walking into a crime scene.
Do you get? All right, here's a quiz question. What's the best way to, when you wash your hands, what's the best way to dry your hands? The air dryer, a cloth, or paper towel?
Paper towel.
That's right, paper towel. Do you use the paper towel to open the door when you leave?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, definitely? Oh, my God. Yeah, the thing...
Definitely. Yeah, I have a freak out when I see women that don't wash their hands, or they go like, they kind of splash them under the water, which I don't quite understand, like what they're trying to accomplish with that. as if this little splash of water is going to just miraculously rinse the germs off. I don't understand.
No, it's not going to happen. Anyway, barbershops are back in vogue, and now this experiment showed that, and they were dealing with a population that was at great risk. Many of the people that go to barbershops, they said the demographic for the group, these are people that earn less than $50,000 a year. More than 40% of households earning less than $25,000 a year. On average, they were overweight or obese. About a third of the people in the experiment smoked, and about a fifth had diabetes. This is a population that you need to target, and are going to barbershops. And they had success in lowering the blood pressure. Mm-hmm. More so maybe than even the doctor, or at least comparable to, maybe even better than if they went to a physician. My goodness.
Did you get enough calcium today?
I'm Joy McCarthy, holistic nutritionist, and I expect more from my multivitamin. I've researched many vitamins, and what's truly different about Every Woman's One Daily from New Chapter is that it's fermented with probiotics and whole foods and gentle even on an empty stomach. Every Woman's One Daily helps you feel good every day, giving you immune, energy, and stress support, and nutrients for bone and heart health. You will notice a difference. Every Woman's One Daily recently won the Best Multivitamin Award, and I love that it's non-GMO project verified. Discover the wisdom of nature with New Chapter.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Figure's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce.
This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. Dominique Ostrander, educator for Jarrow Formulas, is my guest today, and is a regular and featured guest on Let's Talk Nutrition, as is Jarrow Formulas. Dominique, welcome back. There were two themes that you wanted to explore today. One, we wanted to pick up where we left off about obesity being operationalized or defined as a disease, and then you wanted to talk about mindful eating. I did. We'll go wherever you want to go first, and I have things prepared to share with you, but go ahead.
Well, I wanted to continue our conversation because I think that there are some dietary hints or actually behavioral helpful hints, so to speak, that might help listeners that I used for years and years with. I dealt with moderately to grossly morbidly obese patients, and which is a very tough population because, again, we kind of alluded to it when we had our last show about this underlying food addiction that plays a big part. And so one of those things is to remember, and I am guilty of this also, in spite of being an exercise physiologist and my own history, you can't outrun your fork. And I think that that's a misconception, is that people think, well, I exercise all the time and I can just exercise these excess calories away, but it never actually balances out. You can't outrun your fork.
Okay, I'm with you.
With that being said, I also really, really like something called front loading, and this really works. It's a really easy, helpful strategy, and front loading means that you're going to drink 8 to 12 ounces of water before every single thing you put in your mouth. Front-loading fluid helps get that full signal to your brain that a lot of us have bypassed over the years from overeating, that we're not accustomed to paying attention to that full signal. Part of front-loading is also filling half of your plate with vegetables. And then you break the other half into protein and then carbs. You can do 3/4 of your plate into vegetables, but we're front loading. So it actually goes fluid, fiber, carbs, and protein. And you and I are huge fans of fiber.
Yeah, technically fiber is a carbohydrate, but it doesn't have any micronutrients in it. Technically it's a carb, but yeah, but that does not.
Right, but it doesn't. Right, we're not talking about simple like potatoes, for example,
right,
or pasta, or rice.
It is a carbohydrate, but not of those those categories, because we can't digest fiber. So
exactly.
So that it has no, for all intents and purposes, very little energy to offer, which is a good thing. But it serves other purposes. So repeat that sequence again.
Okay, so front loading, that's what it's called. It's drinking 8 to 12 ounces of water, and not too cold of water. You know, there used to be this school of thought that the colder water that you can drink, you get this metabolic boost.
It's not true.
But a lot of times, it's very hard to get all that water in, and then you forget about it and you get distracted, because that's what we do. We get distracted, and then you don't actually end up taking in all the water that you need to in order to front load.
In Ayurveda, they recommend not to drink ice water with a meal because it interferes with metabolism and digestion. There's a term for it. It escapes me at the moment. I'll look it up. But they recommend not warm water, but just plain water, room temperature. Mm-hmm. No ice water. Your point's well taken. So is there a risk, though, let me just play devil's advocate. Is there a risk with front-loading that a person's nutritional status could be compromised? Because if they front-load drinking the water, they get fuller, they eat less, and maybe they're eating less of the foods that they need to eat. Is that a risk?
No.
No. Okay.
No. We're not talking about a nutritionally deficient population. We're talking about a population. We're not anywhere near that. Nutritional deficiencies in our population are few and far between. They really are anomalies. Mm-hmm. They're due to medications. They're due to certain illnesses. We're not talking about nutritional deficiencies now.
There's a concept called overconsumption malnutrition, where you can have an overweight or obese person, although consuming a lot of food, is still malnourished. Overconsumption malnutrition, which is, I think, a valid...
But if you take their blood work, if you were to examine their blood work, would they really be low in their B vitamins? Would they really be low in magnesium? Chances are that they wouldn't be. Those kinds of nutritional deficiencies are often brought upon by medication and certain illness. So you wonder if true blood markers would indicate nutritional deficiency, even with overconsumption. Mm-hmm.
I know we're going to talk about mindful eating, and I was sharing with Gary years ago, I was introduced to, not personally, but I became aware of Gabriel Cousens. Do you know who Gabriel Cousens is? He wrote a book. He wrote a book called Conscious Eating. Yes, I actually read the book. Yeah, that book has been around a long time. He's been doing this. He went to Columbia. He got his medical degree from Columbia. He's a rabbi. He's a naturopath. He is a lot of things. And he's been doing this for 45 years. He has a Tree of Life clinics out somewhere in Arizona, I think. Interesting, provocative guy. He doesn't even do blood tests anymore, by the way. I was just watching a video of him. And he talked about conscious eating. So we're going to talk about him later. I'll bring him up when we get to mindful eating. But he's very much dialed into this whole, what you're recommending is sort of a way of emphasizing conscious eating. In other words, we're having a person go through that routine or considering it dials you into what you're about to eat and how much and why and so on, right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And there's one last part to this that we'll talk about.
Okay. We're going to head into the top of the hour. And, of course, we're syndicated across the United States. So, therefore, we got to pay bills, and all the affiliates, they go to their local stations and play their air, whatever's on their air. And we're going to come back after news, weather, and whatever goes on in your neck of the woods. Here's a number to call the show if you want to chime in on what we're talking about today.
877-897-8255. That's 877-897-TALK.
Mm-hmm. And we'll return. We'll get more into this notion of obesity as a disease. I'm still evolving on this idea, although I have a point of view. And then we're going to talk about mindful eating or conscious eating. Sounds easy to do, right? Yeah. Tell somebody that. Try to get somebody to practice that on a consistent basis. Very difficult. If you can get into that modality of mindful eating, then you reduce your chances for morbidity. Nice alliteration.
At At Country Life Vitamins, we've been helping people live happy, healthy lives since 1971. And we believe integrity should always be our number one ingredient. We are committed to this belief because you deserve high-quality nutrition, specifically crafted with the highest standards to support your health. Country Life's manufacturing facility is an NSF GMP-registered facility, as well as USDA certified organic, so you can feel good about the products you're taking. Country Life Vitamins is also the first supplement company in the United States to have a complete line of products certified gluten-free. That's over 500 products. Country Life Vitamins' pledge of integrity is based on 5 standards: authenticity, cleanliness, freshness, consistency, and accuracy. Ask for Country Life's top-selling products, such as Coenzyme B Advanced for increased energy, or Flex Able for joint health. Country Life Vitamins' commitment to ensure all of our products are pure, wholesome, gluten-free supplements full of natural goodness provides peace of mind with the knowledge you are using a brand you can trust.
Are you waking up each day to the life you have to live or to the life you want to live? Better health shouldn't be left to chance. Smart choices to living longer and stronger include making Kyolic aged garlic extract a part of your daily routine. For years, medical researchers have recommended adding Kyolic to the diet as a powerful tool to enhancing overall heart and immune health. Recent clinical studies at UCLA Medical Center using Kyolic suggest that garlic may slow plaque formation in the arteries and support healthy cholesterol and homocysteine levels. Previous research also shows Kyolic may enhance your immune system defenses. Kyolic is
Dr. Michael
organic,
Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly.
Worldwide. Maintaining a healthier you could extend your life. Your wellness begins with Kyolic aged garlic extract. Available everywhere fine nutritional supplements are sold. Visit Kyolic.com. That's KYOLIC.com. Or call 1-800-421-2998 for a free sample today.
The proceeding was a commercial program paid for by Let's Talk Nutrition, LLC.
This is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. There's a common thread I see every time I'm in the field.
Well, this is Brian. You were saving our homes.
Neighbors helping neighbors and strangers alike.
No official first responders here, just volunteers going in and bringing folks out.
This is what America's about.
Sometimes it's nice to see all the good that's out there.
We have seen it in community after community after community.
Watch NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. Evenings
This is
on
Dr.
NBC.
Michael Garko. Thank you for watching.
From the
Let's Talk
Abrahamson and
Nutrition.
Uterwick
The
Weather
show will
Center.
return
Congratulations, Tampa Bay Lightning. Go Bolts. Pinellas Hillsboro.
Your Tampa Bay forecast: flood warning for the Alafaya and Manatee Rivers. Mostly cloudy with a 50% rain chance with some heavy downpours. High 84.
This is Dr. Michael Garko.
Tonight,
Thank you
cloudy
for
with a few
watching Let's
showers.
Talk
Low
Nutrition.
72.
The show will return
Tomorrow, a
shortly.
50-50 rain chance. High 86. For news, weather, and traffic anytime, tuned in News Radio 970 WFLA.
This report is brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation of America invites you to take steps for cures at a walk near you.
This is
Support
Dr.
the
Michael Garko. Thank you for
1.6
watching
million
Let's Talk
Americans
Nutrition.
living with
Following
these
commercial
diseases.
messages, the show
Get
will
started
return
at
shortly. LTN streams live Monday
cctakesteps.org.
through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m.
WHNZ.
On YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday,
I'm Jim
9 to
Taylor.
11 a.m.
Secretary of State
Eastern.
Mike
Please check
Pompeo is
your
offering a
local
series of
listings.
dramatic
We'll be right
potential
back.
U.S. concessions to Iran if it agrees to make major changes. If not,
The sting of sanctions will be painful if the regime does not change its course from the unacceptable and unproductive path it has chosen to one that rejoins the League of Nations.
This is Dr. Michael
These will
Garko. Thank
indeed
you for
end up
watching
being
Let's
the
Talk
strongest
Nutrition.
sanctions in
The
history.
show will
and
return
we are
shortly.
complete.
Pompeo's first major policy speech as Secretary of State at the Heritage Foundation. Is there a ceasefire in a trade war with China? Here's CBS News correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
The Chinese have vowed to buy more
This is
U.S.
Dr. Michael
goods, but it's
Garko.
not
Thank you
clear
for
how much
watching Let's
America's
Talk
trade
Nutrition.
deficit with
The
China
show will
might
return
shrink.
shortly.
Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin says Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross will work out the details.
We have an agreement with them as to what will be executed, and Secretary Ross is going over there, I believe, next week on the ground to get that done.
Mnuchin says America's farmers will be major beneficiaries.
Dr. Michael Garko.
For now,
Thank
he
you for
says new
watching Let's
tariffs
Talk
on China
Nutrition.
have been put
Following
on hold.
commercial messages,
Presidential
the show
demand
will
from the
return
Department of
shortly.
Justice to
LTN
investigate whether the
streams live
FBI
Monday
had a
through Friday,
mole
9 to
in
11
his
a.m.
campaign.
Eastern on
But
YouTube,
from CBS's
Facebook,
Paula
and the
Reed.
LTN
Deputy Attorney
website.
General
The
Rod
show also
Rosenstein, he
airs
didn't
on
wait for
radio
the president
coast
to order the
including
Justice
Hawaii,
Department to
Monday through
investigate.
Friday,
Instead,
9
he
to
took the
11
whole
a.m.
issue
Eastern.
and passed it
Please
off
check
to the
your
Office
local
of Inspector
listings.
General.
We'll be
That's
right
the
back.
internal watchdog at the Justice Department. So he's given the president something, but he has not fully caved to this demand.
We are learning more about the timeline of Friday's deadly school massacre in Santa Fe, Texas.
Police reportedly confronted the gunman just 4 minutes after the first shots were fired. And that started a 25-minute gun battle. A school resource officer was shot before the suspect finally gave up.
As CBS's Omar Villafranca, 10 people killed in that slaughter. The governor, they're calling for a statewide minute of silence 1 hour from now. When red-hot lava hits the Pacific Ocean...
This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly.
And haze. It's laced with hydrochloric acid, which is toxic and burns on contact. Officials warn the cloud could extend 15 miles.
CBS's Mark Strassman on the Big Island, where walls of lava are 20 feet high, no end in sight for eruptions. All Points Bulletin in South Carolina for a couple of escaped inmates accused of murder. Orangeburg County Sheriff Leroy Ravenel.
We are searching everywhere that we know to search, not only here in South Carolina, but other places.
3 inmates breaking out. One has been recaptured. On this date in 1955, Chuck Berry recorded his first single, Maybelline. And yes, the cosmetics company did come first. Market responding to the China trade news. The Dow right now up 280 points. This is CBS News.
To prevent and relieve muscle cramps in your legs and feet, use TheraWorks Relief. Get TheraWorks Relief today at select Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid pharmacies or TheraWorksRelief.com.
The show will return shortly.
To prevent muscle cramps in your legs and feet, use TheraWorks Relief. This fast-acting foam is clinically proven to relieve leg and foot cramps. Get TheraWorks Relief today at select Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid pharmacies or TheraWorksRelief.com.
Thank you for watching.
Ask your pharmacist for TheraWorks
The show
Relief.
will return shortly.
ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. ZipRecruiter posts your job to over 100 job boards with just one click, and then their smart matching technology finds the right candidates. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/CBS News.
It's time to join the millions of people using Zoom video conferencing. Turn any size conference room, huddle room, or executive office into a Zoom room with flawless HD video, crystal clear audio, and instant wireless sharing. It'll even work with your existing hardware. Start your meetings with a single touch or use Zoom's new voice command feature. Hey Zoom, start a meeting. Huddle happy. Visit Zoom.us to set up your free Zoom room trial today. That's Zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
Next chance to win $1,000 coming up at 30 past the hour on 1250 WHNZ.
Pros in the know start with Lowe's because Lowe's saves pros money on the brands they trust, like DeWalt. Now you can get $100 off a DeWalt 20-volt Max Combo Kit, including an impact driver, drill driver, and a cooler. The tools feature brushless motors for up to 57% longer runtime, while the cooler includes a refrigeration D-seal for maximum ice retention.
Thank you for watching Let's
pick
Talk
up your
Nutrition.
DeWalt 20-volt Max Combo Tool and Cooler
shortly.
Kit for just $229. And let's get started. Offer valid 5/1 through 7/31 while supplies last. See store for details.
From the Florida Central Credit Union Home Loans Traffic Center.
We're bumper to bumper on northbound 275 from Slide past Bird Street with an accident blocking 2 left lanes.
This is Dr.
Also,
Michael
a crash
Garko.
in
Thank
the
you for
Sun Pass
watching
lane
Let's Talk
on the westbound
Nutrition.
Polk Parkway at the Central Toll Plaza.
The show will
And there's
return
action
shortly.
eastbound on
LTN
Almerton at
streams
101st
live
Street.
Monday through
See
Friday,
traffic
9 to
problems,
11
call the
a.m.
in-free firm of
Eastern on
8 Hudson and
YouTube,
Hillsborough
Facebook,
Traffic
and the
Tip Line
LTN
at
website. The show
866-545-9595.
also airs on radio coast
This
to
report
coast,
is brought to you
including
by
Hawaii, Monday through
Scientology
Friday,
Network.
9 to 11 a.m.
Get
Eastern.
informed
Please
and
check
be
your local
inspired.
listings.
Curious?
We'll be right back.
The only thing more interesting than what you've heard is what you haven't. Watch Scientology Network on DirecTV Channel 320 or go to Scientology.tv.
1250 winds, Weather Center forecast. Look for more clouds than sun
This
today.
is Dr.
Rain
Michael
chance
Garko.
60%.
Thank you for watching
Those
Let's
storms
Talk
and showers
Nutrition.
pick up
The
mainly
show
this
will
afternoon.
return
Mid-80s
shortly.
for the high, low mid-70s tonight. Rain chance tomorrow 60% once again, mid-80s. Impact Radio, 1250 winds, WHNZ.
The following is a commercial program paid for by
This is
Let's
Dr.
Talk
Michael
Nutrition,
Garko. Thank you for watching
LLC.
Let's Talk
The opinions,
Nutrition. The show
viewpoints, and
will return
promises
shortly.
made during the following program are not those of WHNZ AM, its staff, management, or parent company, iHeartMedia Incorporated.
This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition.
Statements made during this broadcast regarding products or the claims made about specific products have not been evaluated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Products and treatments discussed are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Make your physician aware of all nutritional supplements used and immediately notify your physician if you have any health concern or undiagnosed sign or symptom. Let's Talk Nutrition is a health talk show that features scientists, authors, nutrition specialists, personal trainers, holistic healers, and experts in traditional, natural, and integrative medicine. Listen for a chance to win daily prizes and follow Let's Talk Nutrition on Facebook and Instagram at Let's Talk Nutrition or on Twitter at LTN Radio. It's time for some inspiration. Tune in to get fit and healthy. It's time to talk about nutrition. Nutrition for your body, your mind, your spirit. It's time to talk about proper exercise, stress relief, eating well, and supplementation to health. Get ready to take charge of your health because your health is your wealth and the wealth of those who care about and love you. It's time for Let's Talk Nutrition with Dr. Michael Garko. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. Thanks for tuning in. Dominique Ostrander is my guest today, talking about two major themes with her and whatever else emerges. That's the nature of communication. Things emerge. Talking about obesity as a disease and then mindful eating. Something I'm going to talk about touches upon perhaps both. In the first portion of the show, I talked about barbershops, of all things, and how this one experiment using barbershops and barbers to help lower blood pressure of it was an experiment of the intervention group, and they had a control group who just got a pamphlet. And those who got into the intervention, I won't get into all the details of it, suffice it to say that intervention using the barber and a pharmacist and then ultimately a physician ended up lowering the blood pressure of this very at-risk population. Turns out that the population that they were studying were at risk. A good percentage were overweight or obese. A good percentage had diabetes. Their economic status wasn't good, necessarily all that good. So they were so almost like an at-risk population, and they did well. They lowered their blood pressure to almost normal. So we're going to go from barbershops to Bali. There's a story in the New York Times entitled what this 76-year-old man can teach about healing. I'm not quite there yet. And his name is Augusti Manguk Sasak. I guess he's a holistic USADA Bali healer. USADA Bali healer, USADA. That doesn't mean United States Anti-Doping Agency. There is such an organization with that acronym, USADA. It's an interesting article. He's a Balinese healer, and he begins each day and ends each day by meditating. He's a third-generation healer, and he has simple advice for well-being. Quote, know oneself, be in control of your food intake, that could be translated as mindful eating, and be aware of your body, close quote. Now, it turns out that Augusti Manguk is one of 8,000 healers or Balians, as they're called, versed in USADA Bali, the ancient practice of using medical plants, oils, herbs, and spices. And they also have hands-on holistic therapies, and they use ancient teachings, they report in the New York Times, to treat physical and mental pains. Now, this is interesting, because lately I've been doing some research on ancient modalities, ancient ways of healing. I've been reading and learning about that. In Bali, a province in Indonesia that has a population of more than 4 million people, healers outnumber doctors by 4 to 1. In other words, these healers are significant and important to the health, wellness, and well-being of the population, and they trust them. Maybe more so than the physicians. I'm speculating, but it wouldn't be far-fetched if it turned out that way. And here's what he said about himself, this ancient healer. People that come and see me are sick and already have problems. And if you force them to pay, you make their situation worse, close quote. Well, that model doesn't work in the United States. You pay or you don't get treated. And he said, and that's not healing. Well, isn't that interesting? He doesn't want to be paid. And Gary can show you some. Then he goes out into the rice fields and he works all day. There he is. Lean as can be. He's 76. A number of these self-reported healers have grown alongside the tourists seeking enlightenment. There he is. He's an impressive-looking man in his, very slight of build, but interesting. And so the tourists that go there will seek out these healers. Now, there's an interesting shot. You can see a number of people. He's sitting in the front in his white garb, and they're in a meditative pose. If you're watching it, letstalknutrition.com or Facebook or YouTube or wherever you're watching it. Now, I get all that, and I'm into the ancient arts and ancient therapies. I'm all in, 100%. But there's a word of caution here. You should not throw the baby out with the bathwater. I learned a lot in my chemistry courses. And whether it's ancient or modern, food has always been food in terms of its chemical makeup and its chemistry. Now, and how you put these chemicals together, how you put these different foods together, these herbs, these spices, makes a difference, as in any chemistry context. So I'm saying that we should not abandon science. It's not one or the other. How about integrating both? One informs the other. Many of the pharmaceutical drugs today are based upon ancient protocols, ancient formulations and compounds, and so on. And herbs and spices from the plants, right? What do I keep saying? It's about the plants. It's about the plants. Yes, you need meat. I get that. I understand that. But it has to be a whole food plant-based diet for me. And so Indonesia, by the way, that has the world's largest Muslim country. And the population of the island of Bali is almost 90% Hindu. So they said in the New York Times, layers of tradition run thickly. I like that. Layers of tradition run thickly through the fabric of the society, close quote. That's great. And there's much to learn. I would love, go there and just observe. Just observe. I would just like to observe, watch and learn, listen. Much to learn. Being a healer is a respected position in the Balinese society, they said in the article, and it's handed down over generations. 1 out of 4 healers in a village is a third, in this one particular village where he lives, Gianyar, I guess that's how you pronounce it, forgive me if I'm butchering these names, is a third generation healer in those villages. And they spend much of their adult life learning this. They call it a trade. They're like a human carpenter, I guess, right? And there's much to learn from these ancient arts and these ancient remedies and ancient ways of being and practicing medicine. And I'm all in. And I like that quote he said at the very beginning, you have to know oneself, be in control of your food take. That's what Dominique, in a sense, wants to talk about here also today, mindful or conscious eating. And be aware of your body. You know, be aware of your body. Your body speaks to you. You are listening to Let's Talk Nutrition. Barbershops, Bally, we get to it eventually. We take excursions around the world into different cultures and right here at home, too. Come back. Gary's going to get you dialed in, how you can dial in, and we'll talk with Dominique Ostrander. Like talking to her.
Almost 52% of men experience erectile dysfunction and benign prostatic hyperplasia. If you've had challenges with virility, sexual health, or low energy, Body Vigor's Alpha Extension may be the answer for you. Body Vigor's Alpha Extension can help revitalize your alpha male and extend your love. Our formula is one of the highest quality nutraceuticals available, formulated to support the processes involved in promoting a healthy male sex drive, energy, and stamina. Alpha Extension has 2 powerful herbal blends, Virilomax, which focuses on male sexual health, and T-Pump Activator, which helps balance your testosterone levels. Revitalize your alpha male with Body Vigor's Alpha Extension, exclusively available on Amazon.com.
This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. aforementioned Dominique Ostrander is my guest. And Dominique, welcome back from Jarrow Formulas. Have you ever been to Bali?
No, I have not.
I would like to go. Here's one of the things that I find, I don't know, tourists, people with good intention go to these places and they mean well, but they end up just with a superficial understanding of these cultures. And, I don't know. Just because you listen to the radio doesn't mean you can do a radio show. Just because you go to the airport and fly on a plane doesn't mean you can go up in the cockpit and fly it either, right? If you get my drift here. You get my drift? Mm-hmm. And then we end up with these very watered-down, commercialized, gimmicky understanding of these cultures. I was reading about Balinese food, and it's a plant-based. They do eat meat. I was reading this one recipe with duck that they have. It sounds tantalizing. I don't eat meat, but so it's a plant-based. One article described it as a plant-based paradise. That's the only thing I worry about with that. When tourists go there and then it gets commercialized and it loses its meaning and charm and purpose. But nevertheless, the food looks pretty darn good. I think we could eat all right there if we went. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They don't have. I don't think they have an obesity problem in Bali. I don't think, but this obesity epidemic has certainly spawned all kinds of twists and turns and contortions and misrepresentations and false promises and solutions. A little victory here and there once in a while. It's really been a mess. It truly is. It's a dumpster fire. Let me be candid. It's a dumpster fire. And we're trying, but I don't know. Describing it, defining it, operationalizing obesity as a disease, does that make matters better or worse? What do you think?
It's hard to really. We after the show last week, my husband and I got into a discussion / debate, and it's. And I'm sure that conversation or debate would exist with millions of other people, and what their perception is, whether it's a disease or whether it's just, step away from the table, walk away from the kitchen. It's a choice. It really goes back and forth. I tend to think of it more as food addiction. And I think it needs to be treated like an addiction because our emotional relationship with food is so important, and people are missing that. And that's what I was going to bring up, was that in terms of mindful eating, and even with front loading, when we're bringing this consciousness, this pause to before we actually sit and eat, whether it's our breakfast or it's a mid-afternoon snack, there's a pause. And the front loading with water allows this pause. But what's more important, and over the years I've told thousands of patients to keep food journals, to really be aware of everything that they're eating. But in addition to the patients that I thought where there was more than just overeating going on, where it was emotional eating, it was more of let's keep a food / emotion journal. Let's ask, what am I feeling at this moment? Am I really hungry for food? Or am I hungry for connection? Am I really hungry because I have hunger pains? Or am I unhappy? Am I stressed? Am I sleepy? Am I tired? Do I really want a nap more than I want this piece of cake? These are all conscious questions that we have to ask in that pause when we're front-loading. And I've asked patients to keep an emotional journal of their weight loss journey, and to watch their emotions evolve and watch their relationship with food and say, yeah, I'm really not hungry. I just had a fight with my sister, blah, blah. And, and I'm used to comforting myself with food. I had a great day at work. Therefore, I'm going to go celebrate. Start to really think about your relationship with food.
Yeah. And over the past few years, that's how I've been talking with people about losing weight. rather than thinking in terms of a weight loss diet, think in terms of your relationship with food. Having a relationship that is not so pathogenic and dysfunctional. But that requires sometimes a lot of effort to explain, and you get into many corridors of the person's life, and that can make some people uncomfortable. One of the issues that come up with calling obesity a disease, the argument against it is says, well, you're medicalizing food. You're medicalizing this problem, and that just makes it worse. That's one of the arguments against it. What's your response to that?
Well, it is the comorbidities that are associated with obesity are medicalized, indeed. High blood pressure, hypercholesteremia, type 2 diabetes, those are medical conditions. Mm-hmm. And we know that chronic obesity leads to those conditions.
Yep.
We also know that obesity can lead to things like certain cancers. So medicalizing obesity, I think, has its place. I think my humble opinion is that we have to start to address the overeating and not be afraid to talk about it. When you talked about, well, we're going to medicalize these conditions, and then we're going to take the responsibility away from the patient, which is how a lot of people feel. We're not. We're actually putting it on the patient, and we're saying, look, this has to be looked at. And you said, like, this is going to take people to the dark corridors of their minds and emotions. Yes, because we often lie the loudest when we lie to ourselves, right? It is uncomfortable.
Well, yeah, dealing with the discomfort, the ambiguity, and the uncertainty. We'll be right back.
Celsius. Are your joints feeling out of date and stiff? Is that old sports injury flaring up? Is your body aching from the daily wear and tear at work? Body Vigor's Joint Ready keeps you at the ready for any joint pain that gets out of line. Unfortunately, as we age, joint pain becomes more common. Body Vigor's Joint Ready can help provide relief so you can continue to go about your day. Our formula contains sulfated forms of glucosamine and chondroitin. Studies show that these sulfated forms are more effective than regular glucosamine bound to hydrochloride. Joint Ready promotes a healthy inflammatory response, facilitates cartilage synthesis, and provides additional antioxidants. Keep your joints at the ready with Body Vigor's Joint Ready, exclusively on Amazon.com.
This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. One's relationship with food is not unlike a relationship with another. Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. When you start to think about it, you start to draw parallels or similarities in how you can use, our the concept of an interpersonal relationship and what constitutes it. Of course, you're dealing with an inanimate object here. We're talking about food. It's not a person. Nevertheless, you have that relationship with food. And it can be emotional. It's transactional in a different kind of way, isn't it? It has many of the features of a regular relationship. It's enduring. It can extend over a long period of time. It has impact on your day-to-day life, the quality of your life, how the response that you get from another and the response you get from a food determines whether this relationship ends up being pathogenic or dysfunctional or toxic, right? So there's many ways I should probably work through that and maybe write about that, but I like the whole idea of, rather than talking about weight loss, talking about your relationship with food and focusing on the process. And one way to focus on your relationship with food is to eat mindfully, and that's what Dominique wanted to talk about also today. Mindful eating, conscious eating, it masquerades under a number of different names. It sounds so nice to say, But let me tell you, getting into the modality of mindful eating, while it may help prevent morbidity, is difficult. It's challenging, I will tell you. No mistake. But it can be done and is done. Welcome back, Dominique.
Thank you, Dr. Farco.
Okay, so...
yes, exactly.
I'm sorry? Go ahead.
You've described it exactly. You've been reading my mind.
Well, I've known you a long time.
Right.
What recommendations do you have? You said that you, in your note to me, that you had a couple of ideas that might help here with this. Could you just go ahead and maybe either repeat or review or inform us?
Well, we're talking about the consciousness, that mindful eating and bringing in awareness, the pause. You and I are big fans of the pause, right? Not having knee-jerk reactions, but responding instead of reacting. And we do the same thing with food, right? We do the same thing with people. Like you just said, our relationship with food is incredibly similar to our relationship that we have, or relationships that we have with people. And so are our responses or our reactions. And so we're talking about a pause in responding. We're talking about front-loading. We're talking about taking that time, drinking a glass of water before we're going to go and eat something. If it's a meal, if it's a snack, we're talking about filling up half of our plate or 3/4 of our plate with vegetables, and then our carbs, hopefully complex carbs and protein. And just really thinking about what we're feeling at the time that we want to eat something.
Other than being hungry.
Right, because oftentimes we're not actually physiologically hungry. We're hungry for something else. We're hungry for connection. We're hungry for a sense of peace if we just had a fight. We're hungry for a sense of maybe we're looking for some kind of certainty or stability, something that no food, like I've said to many patients over the years, food is not a handyman. It can't fix anything.
Right. There's a force, and all that you said is meritorious and meaningful. But images are powerful, and commercial images are very powerful. I saw a commercial yesterday. I won't mention the chain, and it's like for fast, using that phrase, fast foodie. I find it interesting how they use these expressions, these terms and phrases to sort of diminish the seriousness of what's going on here. Like you're a fast foodie. I guess that's supposed to be cool. Or like being
a foodie is cool.
Right, being a foodie is cool. You're a fast foodie. They tried to do this with cigarettes too, and making cigarette smoking like a cool thing to do. Well, it's not a cool thing to do, damn it. It will take your life. And being a fast foodie is not cool. And they are running this commercial, and this young man is eating French fries. And he describes himself as a fast foodie. All that you just said and all the shows that I do is trying to run against that current. And it's almost, salmon have a far better chance of getting upstream than you and I do on this on this battle. And this fella is corpulent. He's way overweight, if not obese. And he's not eating just one fry. He's putting 2 and 3 in his mouth at the time, and he makes a point of emphasizing that. Now, kids watch that. Adults watch that. And they get more than one exposure to that. If one thinks that that's not powerful, and it looks tantalizing, and that's what you're fighting against. Our relationship with food is in large measure driven by the food standards and the food culture in which we live. Context is everything. And so that's what we're fighting against. That's why this battle with obesity is it's not even at a stalemate. We're getting our butt kicked up and down, left and right. If the medical community thinks otherwise, they're delusional. We win a battle here, you win a battle there, but we've been losing that war since day one because we're fighting that kind of current. And that commercial is a disservice to our society and to young people and to people generally. That's my opinion, and that's how I feel about it. I don't know if you've seen that commercial or not, and there are many like it.
I have not seen that commercial. But, it's to your point, the beauty world is also, our definition of what's attractive has also mutated to this sort of a freakish standard for young women that doesn't seem to be healthy. I mean, I can't imagine over the long run being healthy.
Well, your point, I've seen young women, not young men, mostly young women, who've had their lips augmented. They look like catfish. They've had major surgery on their face. They got Botox in every nook and cranny and crack in their face. They look so plastic and so unhealthy, and they think it's attractive, and it's not. And they're in their 20s. What do you need? What do you need plastic surgery at 20, 22, 23? What are you talking about on your face? You're right. I don't know. I get frustrated. You can hear the frustration. I don't know. So it's like somebody hands you a rifle, say, "Go kill the enemy," and you're going to get killed.
Are your joints feeling out of date and stiff? Is that old sports injury flaring up? Is your body aching from the daily wear and tear at work? Body Vigor's Joint Ready keeps you at the ready for any joint pain that gets out of line. Unfortunately, as we age, joint pain becomes more common. Body Vigor's Joint Ready can help provide relief so you can continue to go about your day. Our formula contains sulfated forms of glucosamine and chondroitin. Studies show that these sulfated forms are more effective than regular glucosamine bound to hydrochloride. Joint Ready promotes a healthy inflammatory response, facilitates cartilage synthesis, and provides additional antioxidants. Keep your joints at the ready with Body Vigor's Joint Ready, exclusively on Amazon.com.
This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael. And here's the LTN health question of the day, brought to you by Jarrow Formulas. Earlier in the show, I was talking about this experiment, and it was done in a barber shop, of all places. Gotta love it, man. Here's the question. What were they able to achieve in this barber shop involving the barber, the pharmacist, and ultimately the physician? Was it lowering A, anxiety, B, blood pressure, or C, cholesterol? In the experiment that I talked about involving the barber shop, what were they able to lower? A, for anxiety, B, for blood pressure, or C, cholesterol? If you have the right answer, you get a free haircut at the barber shop. Plus a $25 supplement gift card. Here's how to connect.
877-897-8255. That's 877-897-TALK.
And so we had on Facebook, a fellow, I can't give his last name, but Henry wrote a nice response on our messenger feed. And he said, a lesson I learned from a barber. There is no sense in getting all lathered up if you're not going to shave. Close quote. And then he has another sentence which gives the answer, and I'll wait on telling you what that is. That, Henry, thank you very much. Gary will respond to you, and thank you. Very clever. Let's go to Venice, not Florida, not Italy. I would like to go back to Venice, Italy. Although Venice, Florida is nice. Terry, welcome to the show.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
Pretty good.
Have you ever been in a barber shop?
Yeah, I have. With my father.
Your dad used to take you?
Yeah.
It's quite an experience. You know, children, I always found it intriguing to go into a barber shop and watch all those goings on in there, you know?
Yeah, my friend's father was a barber, so I've been in them.
And if you wanted to know what was going on in the town, all you needed to go was get a haircut, and you could find everything that you needed to know, right?
Oh, definitely.
So, in this experiment with the barber shop and barbers, and involving also pharmacists and ultimately the physician, what were they able to lower? A, anxiety, B, blood pressure, or C, cholesterol?
B, blood pressure.
Yes, they were. And then Henry's message to me on Facebook on our messenger feed, he said, a lesson I learned from a barber. There's no sense in getting all laddered up if you're not going to shave. It'll help keep you from getting high blood pressure and overly excited. Yeah, you know. So, yeah, that's right. I find it interesting that the barber had just as much of, maybe even more of an impact on the subject in the experiment as would a physician. It's interesting. You better, you know, you think about it. Maybe I know. Do you like getting your hair cut? People are very you got to trust that hair cutter, right?
Right.
Yeah, and you put your faith in that hair cutter, and I guess people trust the barber, and just by definition, and so you have that trust built up, and maybe, I don't know, it's an interesting experiment. How's everything in Venice?
Oh, the weather's really nice.
Are you taking care of yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Is it a priority?
A big priority.
Is it really? Really? Yeah. Is it ever on your mind, or does it slip and slide for you? How does that work for you?
Well, I like the occasional bag of potato chips, but for the most part, I eat well.
Well, if you have an occasional bag of potato chips, that's not so egregious. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I know. Well, thank you for tuning in, and congratulations on winning. We appreciate your listenership and your involvement in the show. Thank you.
Thank you.
My pleasure. And Dominique, I always say thank you, and I mean it. Thank you very much for being a good guest, a good friend. We appreciate it. You have a lot. We didn't talk about a product today, not one. Are you upset about that?
No, actually, when I had talked to you when I had texted you about today's show, and I was thinking, well, when a person is ready to make the choice to say, okay, I've had enough, I'm going to do what I can do to manage my weight, including an emotional food journal, a food journal, front-loading, conscious eating, really. They're out of the contemplative phase. They have crossed over to the action phase. And you can add supplementation to help support your effort.
Absolutely.
There are supplements from Jarrow formulas that can definitely help support your weight loss journey in terms of controlling your blood sugar, helping you have cellular energy, fiber to help you feel full. There's quite a few choices in there.
Blood glucose optimizer being one of them for blood sugar insulin control. Go ahead.
Exactly, yes. And that was one of the ones that, had we had time, we would have talked about. But, again, glucose optimizer, when you have stable blood sugar levels, your cravings are in control, and you have less inflammation, actually, which is very important. And the whole idea is to help support yourself in the best way possible. And so doing it with something like Glucose Optimizer, which is a tremendous proprietary blend of everything from your B vitamins to magnesium, selenium, alpha-lipoic, there's glycostat, there's gymnema, resveratrol, Banaba. I mean, it's a tremendous product as far as controlling blood sugar.
It is. It's fabulous product. Fabulous.
So if you're ready and you're going to make the choice, you're out of the contemplative phase, you're into the action phase, you've had enough, and you want to go on your weight loss journey and go into those dark corridors so that you can really learn to relate to food better, there are supplements that can support that decision and help you along the way.
Fast food, I liken it in a relationship with a person, is really attractive, right? They're really attractive in so many ways, but they're not good for you. They're just not good for you. They bring out the worst in you, and you blow up the lab every time with that person. It just doesn't work, no matter how good looking they may be or whatever way they are attractive. And fast food is sort of like that. It can be very attractive and appealing and whatnot, but you know what? It's still not good for you. Just think about that. Like Dominique says, be mindful of what you're eating. Be mindful of that relationship. Take a pause. Why am I going to dig into this 3-layered cake here? Why am I going to polish off this Haagen-Dazs, this pint of Haagen-Dazs? Why am I going to do that? Sometimes the answer, it's a hard question. It's tough to ask the question, and you may not like the answer, But, again, Bertrand Russell comes along. I would rather be mad with the truth than sane with lies. Thank you for tuning in today. We appreciate you. Your health is your wealth, and your health is the wealth of those that care about and love you.